Hola, welcome back to whatever this is. It has been a minute. I'm sorry, apologies. But girl, just getting my life together needed to be God. If you like my stuff here, go follow me on TikTok. I'm also on Substack now. Okay, your girl is a writer after all. So check me out in a few other places if you like what I'm doing. But in general, I feel like I have to just tell y'all what I've been dealing with before I continue with what I'm doing. Okay. It's just a lot going on right now in the Astros, in the global, in the personal. I had to get it together, looked at my channel, realized I hadn't posted in 3 months after just saying that I was going to start posting. I don't ever want to be one of them creators. And that leads me to my next point, creating. That has been the only true outlet that I have found after all this time circling around trying to figure out what's going to make me want to live. Quite frankly, in this world, in this universe where they normalize suffering to a degree that is astonishing. Like, yes, like that whole process of making a diamond where it's like, okay, it's formed under extreme heat and extreme pressure. It's like, and you hear stories of people that have went through things that should have made them hateful, like terrible people, but they turn into something beautiful. They turn that pain and suffering into something beautiful. You think about people that have grown up in abusive households. Yes, one way to go is the narcissistic path, but the other way to go is the extreme empath, where it's like you feel and understand so deeply what other people are dealing with. Suffering can open your perception of the world and the way it works. Hmm. And that's one thing I feel like I've been kind of contending with lately is just the way that the world works, the universe works, the laws of the universe. Please, I'm trying to figure this shit out. The world going crazy. I'm here like like I miss the era of philosophers. I miss the era of people that were just talking. Nobody talks about things that are actually like important. They focus too much. They don't critically analyze. I'm like looking at this from all lenses trying to understand, but you go on places like TikTok, which now I'm hearing is being bought and sold by what? Israel literally came out and Netanyahu said like, oh,
The woke right, because these people, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're police. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. The weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are on social media. The most important purchase that is going on right now is class TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential.
yo, the writing is on the wall and it's loud and it's annoying. But everything goes back to them. It's really pissing me off. I'm trying to do the formula here. Like, okay, but anyways, that's beside the point. And when I say them, don't no confuse my words. Don't confuse. There's no room for hatred on my page. Absolutely. Because if someone is attacking a specific religious group or people, it's like you're not getting the pieces. But let me focus. Let me stay focused. What was I talking about? We got that going on in the world. The Epstein files, all this teasing that they're really doing is pissing me off, quite frankly. Y'all didn't have access to this. Y'all didn't try to gain access to this all this time. Like, I don't know why y'all edging me right now. It's not giving. And I'm just looking at all the distractions that are taking. Okay, so what I was saying is just like, TikTok is just very obviously a place filled of distractions. YouTube is a place filled, oh my God, the Mr. Beastification is really, it needs to be in the dictionary because content is so soulless. It's just literally just made, manufactured to capture your attention and to like literally just hold you there. It's for children, right? Who don't have that level of like impulse kind of control. Their brains literally aren't fully developed. So of course, like it's just like brain mush that makes them feel a little something, a jolt of dopamine, if you will. And that's all we're chasing after. We're literally hamster spinning in the fucking wheel. And it's once you realize you're in a cage, there's no going back. And that's what I've been contending with, I guess, you know. But that's where spirituality comes in, right? The cage is in your mind, y'all. The cage is up here. So it's like, oh, wait, the cage is, the perception of the cage is real. Like, yes, like they have put us into a cage, but the cage that they've put us in is a mental cage. It's a cage that is induced by mass hypnosis. Someone really pointed it out. And again, it's just like sometimes I'm like, okay, is this psychosis? Is this, but I'm awake. No, it's not. I don't even want to say that. Like, look, I am fully present. I'm fully understanding. There's a quote about it. It's like to be well in a. There's no. It's not some all the mental breaks that are going down. Everybody and their mama got depression and anxiety. It's like we just went past COVID and nobody's talking about it. I didn't even used to be socially anxious like that, but after COVID, I got some anxiety. You know, and that's another thing when I'm like deconstructing everything. It's like time. That's the biggest illusion of all. Like really, and that is the thing that they have been stealing and manufacturing the cage, the perception of this new year that we do every single time. But a lot of our lives look very similar to the year before. What is the difference other than the number that they put in front of it? You know what I mean? Or behind it, whatever you mean. Like and I'm thinking about all of this trying to navigate career, purpose, um meaning, like on my own level, like on the world level. And look, I think I'm doing okay, like at the end of the day, it's a wonderful life. You have to really lean back and realize like death is not the answer, in existence is not the answer. I think it's a level of detachment, but it's not the healthy kind. It's a level of like, Hmm. Dissociation, yes. This is when I talk about the mass hypnosis that they're dealing with because a lot of us life outside of screens, and that's something I really have to continue to look at within myself. It's like how many hours, it's not even just on phone. That screen time is one thing, right? But then it's like when I'm not on my phone, I'm on my computer. When I'm not on the computer, I'm watching TV. When I'm like, how many hours am I actually spending without any screen time? And what are these things anyways? Like again, another something that someone else pointed out. I'm quoting all these people that are just random TikToks, random media that we find. Like it's so clogged in my brain at this point because of all the things that I'm consuming that it's so hard to pinpoint where I got the information. And that is why, separate note, it is important to create as much as you consume. Because a lot of people that are dealing with all these racing thoughts and everything, it's because you're consuming a lot of information, and you're not doing anything with it. Whether it's physical movement, whether it's mental movement, like creative, like expend that energy. But my point is, like, we accept things like this box that we have that can record and send information so that something that I'm doing right now in this corner of my universe, someone all the way across the world can see. That's normal. We have these waves that float through the world that can connect us to the interwebs, where again, we can talk to people on all corners of the globe. And we accept that as, yes, that's normal. But when we talk about energy, vibration, when we talk about all this woo woo kind of astrology type beat, like nobody wants to, oh, that's crazy, that's wild. This is where it's like your perception, the things that you're taught to accept. And that is what, this is a quote by, what's her name, Angela Davis, right? I am no longer accepting the things that I cannot change. I am changing the things that I cannot accept. Bar. please. Like, and that's something I really have to like live my life by. It's like the reason why I've been gone like the last couple of months is because I quit my job, right? Best decision I ever made, period. I was at home for a period of time. Wasn't working. Wasn't working. Moved to Chicago. Chicago. Okay. Um as a girly who struggles with seasonal, it's getting to the winter era and I'm like, but look, all these places I've been, one thing I have realized is that there are certain roaches, if you will, follow me with this analogy, that keep following me everywhere I go. And it's like roaches, I feel like, are really just the symbol for festering problems because where there's one, there's many. Okay. And you might just see one and be like, okay, let me just kill that one, right? And that's it, right? No, because you know that even if you killed that one, there's a lot of them hanging out somewhere, right? So here's everybody has a different approach to roaches, right? Or problems in their lives. The thing that I have found, I'm gonna just be honest, all right? Here's my honesty at work. The thing that I have found when it comes to how I deal with roaches or how I have had the tendency to deal with roaches is I'll see one and be like, oh, yikes. Okay, let me try and get this one. Like, let me just get past it and let me hit it, right? But then I don't even think about the fact that there's a bunch hanging out. I don't go sus. I'm like out of sight, out of mind. Period. And then I see another. I hit that one. I see another. Ooh, this is getting a lot. I hit that one. When too many start popping up, I'm out. No, because now you've disrupted my view. Now I'm seeing y'all. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. And it's something where it's like, okay, fine. You deal with that. That place is roach infested. You go to the next place. But you didn't do any analysis on where these roaches came from. What brought them to your situation to begin with. So you go to the next place, right? And then, lo and behold, after a little while, you see another roach. Damn, another one. Gotta be a coincidence. Gotta be this. Gotta be that. Let me hit it. Let me hit. And then another one pops up. You repeat the same pattern, and then you're like, you know what? You get overwhelmed. You go to the next place, and you keep hoping that if you go to the next place, somehow these roach infestations will just stop following you. But at a certain point, you realize it's not the place. You're bringing the roaches with you, bitch, because you're not dealing with the infestation. You're not acknowledging why they are gathering, why they are collecting. And look, I'm not trying to hate myself for it. I know what my life has been, and only anyone can. And that's why it's like, if you can't have grace for yourself, you can't have grace for nobody, because you are the only one that knows everything you have been through and endured in this life. Nobody else knows fully to the extent that you know. So if you cannot give yourself some grace and understanding, how do you expect it from anybody else? So I'm saying all this not to hate on myself. And if you feel what I'm saying, I'm not hating on you. It's just, we gotta be honest. Damn. We gotta be honest. We gotta be honest with ourselves, if nobody else. If nobody else. And it's like, fuck everybody. I mean, I'm sorry. But it's like, yes, you owe everybody honesty. But do you? Yeah, I guess you do. Because the reason why we lie is because we want to change someone's perception of ourselves, right? And that's the same reason why we lie to ourselves. We want to change our perception of the situation, our habits, whatever it is. Like, but at the end of the day, the truth still stands and it looks at you and it just stares at you. And one thing I'm noticing is that as you get older, the truth just begins to get louder. And the more you ignore it, the deeper into depression and emptiness you will fall. These are the things I have been contending with. And that's why I have been gone. I don't want to be just another yapper in the machine. Like, This life is meant to have so much more meaning, y'all. And that's why I have found so much joy in creation. Something about it. And I think one thing I have now begun to accept on this journey that is life is that I have to enjoy the journey. I just can't live for the moment that everything changes. And yes, I am envisioning that the masses are watching this. Yeah, that's just something I know. But I can't wait until the moment where it's like, oh yes, I know that that's happening. It's like, well, regardless, I'm gonna do my thing and I'm gonna enjoy it on the way. And it's like so many people are doing this kind of stuff right now, doing the creative work, doing the artist work without actually caring about what they are doing. It's just everybody's copying. Like that's literally a tactic that they say is like, oh, this is what you should do to get followers or whatever subscribers on YouTube. Like just copy whatever the most viral trend is. And then I'm scrolling through my feed and everything is just a repeat image, just copied homework, changed a few words of the last video. And it's like, and that's just everything we're consuming from mass media, from like the movies and the TV shows, and to the music, because everything has just been co-opted by these soulless fucking billionaires who just do everything for the sake of productivity, for efficiency. You forget that food, social media, your phones, like almost everything that you have in this like first world life that we live is just fully based on things that have been scientifically engineered to capture your attention. And that is something that is so valuable. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And they know how powerful that shit is. That's why they trap you in those jobs. Okay, those fucking cubicles. That's why they trap you in the cycle, in the box that you're staring at watching this right now. And they want to keep you there. They want to keep you in that hole. But I had to really take a moment to realize what is real and what is fake, what is true and what is a lie. And I'm still discerning that. But again, I had to be honest with myself before I even begun to approach. And it is a journey I'm still actively undergoing, because I understand that healing and growing and learning is not a linear process. It's something we have to do every single day of our lives. And we keep expecting to be this perfect version of ourselves that never really existed. you know like, because perfection is a lie. The perfection is in the imperfection. You think about the things that are sweet in life, and it's like it wouldn't be that sweet if it didn't have its equal and opposite counterpart, right? If there was no such thing as a sunrise, would you care about the sunset? I don't know. Like, it's like things have meaning because certain things that we will just never know and fully be able to comprehend. That's another thing I'm trying to make peace with. But as I move, there's certain things that I know are my truth, and that's all we can do. Live in our truth. And whatever that means for us. And I feel like the more you do that, the less you feel the need to go and tell anybody else what their truth is supposed to look like. Whew, this world has really turned humanity into something that is so devoid of love, feeling, you know. And that's the thing that I was moving from. That is the roach, the root of the infestation. It's just the emptiness and what I was doing to kind of fill the emptiness and the ways that was causing problems in my own life. And also, it's like, okay, yes, I love this quote that we are spiritual beings. We are not human beings undergoing spiritual experiences. We are spiritual beings undergoing a human experience. And I say that to say it's like humanity, to be a human is to experience suffering and like to go through shit, but also to experience joy and pleasure and to pursue it, to do stupid shit like just earthly pleasures, indulge in things like food and sex and what else? Drugs. It's like, okay, the thing about it in this capitalist fucking regime we live in is like we were never meant to have these things to the level of excess that we do. Okay, you think about the process of alcohol fermentation in like a small village where you can't just import it and da da da, like you can't just have the amounts, the copious amounts that we have access to here in America, right? For example, you would have to, the whole village would have to, wait months, how long, what years, if not, to really create the best type of alcohol that you could drink. It takes a process, it takes patience, it takes work. And everybody would have to have their own part in it, or someone would, whatever. But the case may be was like when that stuff was shared, when the alcohol was shared, when the tree, you know what I mean, was shared, when all these things were shared, because they were cultivated with such care and time and effort, you didn't just go crazy every single weekend because you didn't have access to it. You would savor it the moment that it did come, and it would be a big festival that the whole village is going to, everybody getting lit together. Or a religious, some not religious, spiritual ceremony. I have to make the distinction: spiritual ceremony with the tree, with the ganja, with the mushroom, whatever it is. Like it's like there's certain things where it's like these are ancient rituals that were done by people before us. It's because we are humans and these are the ways that we experiment with the world around us. And it's natural to do it. But addiction is not natural, it is manufactured. What other animal on this planet is dealing with that condition? Addiction is, first of all, in order to overly consume something, you have to have access to egregious amounts. If you just don't have access to it, it's not a problem. It's not even beginning to be a problem. But again, it's like we live in a society that makes everything your fault, right? We don't even begin to analyze the conditions that we have raised in order to be in it. And of course, you have to take accountability for your own life at the end of the day. We only got this one. But if a big percentage of our society is dealing with something, and I remember being at a park one day, having this young man come up to me trying to whatever, trying to holla, but he was drunk as lord, and it was like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Here I was sitting by my favorite tree trying to take in the day. But on the other hand, I was gardening that whole day. So who was I to talk? Although, but whatever. And notice now, of course, the politicians want to start banning THC and stuff because now it's contributing to the fall in alcohol sales. Y'all, we got to boycott. And I was like, that is the best excuse I ever heard to go sober. If I never heard one, yes, let's boycott. Because fuck that shit anyways. Fuck that shit anyways. And this is where it comes to really taking the time to analyze what was causing the roaches, right? And for me personally, it was avoiding the things that were making me feel deeply uncomfortable because I felt like it was the only thing that would make other people comfortable. And in order to shove down the things that would come up because of the continual discomfort that you feel with constantly ignoring your own needs, whatever that looks like, whether it's because of that job, whether it's because of your family, whether it's because of that relationship, whether it's because of whatever it is, the friends, it's like repeatedly doing that has made I needed something that would help me to do that so I could cope with the day-to-day existence. And I found my way to do that through substances. But when I was younger, there were other ways that I was doing that. Like I was daydreaming my life away a lot of the times. And there's conditions that we can all label things. I'm not interested in being labeled and having somebody write up a prescription because that is all the mental industry is. I take my experiences and I learn from them and I try to understand myself. I still got plenty years ahead of me. Thank the Lord, okay? I still got plenty time to figure shit out. But also you never know. So it's like I'm trying to do what I can while I can, while also again having the grace for myself. So I say all that to say the problem that I had to really get rooted in solving was doing things for other people's comfort and neglecting my needs consistently. It's something that I picked up when I was young. That was my survival mechanism, ignoring my needs and just fulfilling the needs of those around me so that they didn't notice me, because not being noticed was safety. And now, and but that's the thing, when you live in that kind of condition for so long, the thing that you want more than ever is for someone to notice you, and to notice, hey, she needs something, she needs some help. You out here helping everybody, making sure everybody's okay, nobody's making sure, like, and they looking at you crazy when you crashing out. But it's like, bitch, were you not looking at the signs? But it's not their responsibility, just like it's not my responsibility to be looking out for you. I'm not saying that I'm on this like, oh, I don't give a fuck, but it's like I gotta well, I gotta put me first, Lucius. Like, I really do. I really do. Because that is the condition that keeps on creating the hole that I was. And I remember I had a therapist who made an analogy that was so beautiful about this. Like, you walk down the street every single day, whatever your routine is. Routinely, you walk down this street. There's this hole in the sidewalk. You know, you keep walking. Eventually, one day, you might not be paying attention. You fall in that hole, right? You find your way out eventually, how long it takes. It's your first time down the hole, so maybe the first time it takes you a little bit longer. Okay, now you get out that hole, you walk down, right? Next day, next routine time, you walk down that street again, you fall in again. And it becomes a thing that every time you go down the street and every time you take your walk, you fall down that hole and you have to get yourself back up, right? Eventually you're like, okay, maybe I don't want to keep falling down this hole. So now when you go on your routine, you try to go around it, you try to jump over it. You have your things, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you fall, sometimes you make it past the street that day, right? The lesson is eventually you're going to learn, no, it's not, okay, let me figure out the best way to avoid falling down the hole and like how the best maneuver to get around it, whatever. It's, don't go down that fucking street anymore and you won't fall in that fuck ass hole. Stop going down that street. Find another routine direction to walk in. And it's easier said than done. That's the hard part, right? Because now you have to adjust to a whole different, that's that whole neuroplasticity. Like, there is science behind these mechanisms, right? And there was another quote. I'm a quote girly. I'm sorry. I just, but it's just like magic is just science that isn't understood yet or isn't explained yet. Whatever it is, it just sounds so amazing to me, because it's just like, you think about it, the people that were living before thought the sun rising and setting was magic. They thought pregnancy, things like, imagine the first time, first experience of that, it's magic. But now we have understanding of the mechanisms behind it, so it's not magic to us. You show a caveman a TV, they gonna think it's magic. But again, it's just not a level of understanding that hasn't been reached yet. When it comes to matters of the spirit, matters of the ethos, it's just science doesn't have a word for it, an understanding of it yet. So it calls it magic in a way that is demeaning. It's in a way that is derogatory. You want to belittle it because you don't understand it. And that is the human ego. That is why I look at people like Neil deGrasse Tyson. And as much as I want to say, oh, he's such a smart man, I've met so many smart men who are the dumbest niggas I have ever held space with. Like, it's because when you are a level of intelligence, sometimes ego can get in the way and you think you know everything, and everything you don't know, you don't even want to give a chance. Okay. And as you get older, you become more set in that way, set in that ego, and men often fall into it more and more and more. But I can't tell you why. If you want to have a feminist deconstruction conversation, we can get to it later. I say all this to say, like, we don't have to understand everything to make it true. And as I take my time with my life, because that's the one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do things in my time. Nobody else's, because that was something else that was causing me stress. Like, just living on everybody else's timeline on what my life should look like, how it should look, what I should be doing right now. Because again, it's just everybody's living for somebody else, something else, and some sort of validation that they think comes from outside of them. And all along, and that's the thing I read when I was talking about, the only thing that I wanted from other people was to be noticed and notice that I felt away and that I needed some help and some love and some care and tenderness. I had to be the one to say, wait, why can't I just give it to me? I'm out here giving that to everybody and their mama. Why can't I just give some of that shit to me? I deserve it too. And it feels so good to do that because that's what I needed. That's what I needed first and foremost. I'm not doing anybody any favors by running myself ragged because again, it just festers into different conditions. It just shows itself in different ways, okay? That might not be as obvious and immediate at first, but it's inevitable. Those were the roaches that kept following me. And so now I'm at a stage where it feels like another chapter has closed, is coming to an end. I don't really know what the next one looks like, but I have the confidence now that it's going to be better because I feel like I understand what I have to do. And it's very simple. It's actually quite simple. I feel like a lot of us deep down, we know exactly what we have to do. We have those moments in the middle of the night. By the way, I'm filming this at like 4:30 in the morning. It was 4:30 when I started this, probably like 5 a.m. now. But yeah, I was just up since like 3, just not knowing what to do. And then I used the energy to create something, to do something, to speak to people. Like, again, anyways, my point is, my point is, I'm sorry, my mind is late. Um, we all have those moments of like, oh, I know exactly what it is I need to do. It's just, it loses momentum. We wake up in the middle of the night, we start it, and then we don't finish it. And my version of that would be recording all of this and then not posting it, which I'm going to, and if you see this, just know this is proof right here that you can work past and work with the momentum that you get in those random epiphanies and follow through. And it didn't happen for me all at once. It took time. It took a lot of different moments of, oh, I finally understand it now. And every time I understand it, the world just gets in the way and then you fall back into the cycle. But now I feel like I'm finally realizing I gotta stop walking down this fuck ass street and I'm not interacting with that hole any fucking more, bitch. Okay. So it's like for me, creating. For me, living, experiencing, enjoying. Life is meant to be lived. Life is for the living. Why wait until you're dead to want to to exist? And it's like, hmm, where was I going with this? I was going somewhere. I was gonna get somewhere good actually. I see that the people that are experiencing the most emptiness is the youth. And it's such a heartbreaking because first of all, again, I already said religion deconstructed. Deconstructing. I'm literally another thing I'm in the process of doing. But in the Bible, book of Ecclesiastes, it talks about this. I can't forget it. It's not one of the books that comes up when you go to church every Sunday. Again, there's so many books you never even heard of, but that's besides the point. It talks about just enjoying the days where, like, there's a line. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Enjoying the days where you're young without gray hair and just being thankful for the simple things like being able to get straight up out of bed in the morning, you know, being able to go take that walk, being able to go, hear, see, smell, feel, finding those small reasons to be grateful, especially while you're young, because there's so much ahead of you. Your life is still yours. And again, it's like as I witness the people that are in my life, my parents, family, aunts, uncles, just, and then, family, friends, just people in your life that are getting older. It's like you see the level of detachment from self, I think. I don't know what else to call it. It's like you lose your soul a little bit. I saw that a lot in the workplace. I don't want to say especially with the woman because it just might be my experience as a woman. I'm sure men, as a man, they would have their own experience with men, right? But where I saw a lot was like with women that I worked with. There's this lady in particular who she had been working there. I found like because they had this ceremony where wait, they were giving everybody something like commemoration for how long they'd been with the company, right? She got her commemoration for 25 years. Okay. And what she get? A pin. This lady was really like making life difficult for me, right? She was in her 40s making life difficult for me. Talking shit, like, just doing shit with other women in the office, other grown ass women in the office, right? If at the same age, if not older than her, right? But then after that, like, and now that I'm gone and stuff, because look, you realize it's like, damn, that means she started this job when she was in her 20s, when she was around my age. And she been here ever since. And you hear her story, like she's a single mother, like all these things have happened. And it's like, I don't want to make any judgments of what that's like, but that don't sound easy in the slightest. And when you have a child, ooh, I'm sorry, but there's just a lot more shit that you will tolerate just for the sake of being able to provide for them. Whether it's tolerate a relationship, a person, a job, just to have the money, whatever the situation may be, because you got another mouth to feed. I can eat ramen every single day. That baby needs formula, you know? It's crazy. And you saw that shit on TikTok? This is what I mean. I made a TikTok too where it's like a lot of Christians are satanic. And this is what I mean. Because how will you villainize a woman who is literally just exposing the fact that these churches that are supposed to be givers of the community, if you're following the teachings of Jesus, and y'all are so quick to turn everybody away. A mosque had to say yes. A random Appalachian pastor had to say yes. And they're getting overflowed. Black churches had to, Baptist churches had to say yes. And they're getting overflowed with donations right now. If that's not God, and what's the devil? These places that want to cover it up say, "Oh, we're doing the work," but don't want to do the actual work. The devil is a deceiver. And when it comes to like day to day life, just deconstructing the woo woo, I've just been talking, y'all, but please follow me. Deconstructing the woo woo and all of it from like the truth of it all. Because at the end of the day, when you hear something everywhere all the time, you go from place to place to place, everybody's talking about this and this. It's like, okay, where there's smoke, there must be fire. So when it comes to God, the devil, whatever names you want to put on all these forces at B, that negative force is just a force of deception. And when I look at the government, the world, the condition right now, and a lot of the religions that are justifying the conditions, it's like I see what it's being led by. I can't say that. The people gonna come for me. So again, what I was saying is like with her situation, she was a bitch. But I can look and see, wow. And mind you, I might have said this story before, but this woman was a woman of color, right? She was Hispanic. She had been working there all that time. There was a white woman who was older than her, around the same age, maybe, probably, who had been working there maybe like a decade or so. And they all like start out legal secretaries. This was like a law firm, that kind of system. Start out legal secretaries, you move up, you become like a paralegal assistant, whatever. And so they followed that route. They were both paralegals. There was a promotion that came up. Guess who got it? Both applied. Hispanic lady, 25 years. White woman, 10 years. Guess who got it? And did I want what's her name to get it at the time? No, because why? That she would have been managing me. Hell no. And white woman, she was her own story. She don't even get a moment. She don't deserve it. Because once she got a little power, shit started switching up. But anyways, How dare they? How dare they? How dare they do that to her? Huh? And so when I seen that happen, I was like, I kind of get it. I get how you would become this bitter. And that's what I mean when I say like growing old, you see the people, it's like they become so hateful, so stuck in their own ways, so bigoted, so like scared of anything that is contradictory to what they have come to accept as truth within the world, the truth that they want to believe in, that anything outside of that looks like a threat, a direct threat to whatever it is they've built. And when it came to the office, me just being who I am was a direct threat to the systems, the social systems that they had constructed and built since before I got there. And when you realize that about yourself, it don't matter what 9 to 5 corporation you work for. It's like, mind you, I'm good at my job. It's never down to the work. When it comes to the work, I can do it. And that's what I mean. Like, it's not about work. It's about control. That is what the workplace is about at the end of the day. And all of it is to make sure your energy, your attention, and this is what I mean. It's like, even when I wasn't at work, I used to really be mad at my mom for coming home and bringing work with her, being mad as fuck coming back home. It's like, lady, like don't bring that shit here. You mad at them, be mad at them. Don't get mad at me. But how you spend so much of your life at work, so much of your time, your attention is spent at work and work related things, especially in certain career fields. How do you not take work home from you? You're mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually fucking exhausted. And when do you get rest? Because you have to keep going back every Monday. But we're taught to accept this as normal. This is what life is meant to be. This is the best it gets. Maybe eventually, if you do it for a couple years and you do really well, you'll get a bigger office. They're playing in our face. So I had to go into the bush and weep for the reality I have been presented. And while I was weeping, I was visited by the realization that this was just the reality that was presented to me. I don't have to accept it. It's like you get so used to being, oh, it's this is the perfect one, right? There's like a video, things like going around, whatever. It's like a phenomenon, right? Of like an elephant, for example, been chained up its entire life, so used to being chained up, right? In that zoo, in that whatever place. They get put to a free place where they can run around, like do their thing, they free now. You free. Chain is removed. They still act as if they're changed. They only move to a certain extent. Like they don't go about it as like, oh yeah, I'm free now. Because the mental imprint is the thing that keeps them chained. Elephants are big as fuck, you think about it, right? But if you've been chained since you were a child, when you were young, you didn't have the strength to remove that chain to break it. But when you got older, you just got used to not being able to get it off. So you just accept that it's there. And that's what I feel about the life that they have presented to us as acceptable. It's like once you have your autonomy, and that's the thing we wanted more than anything when we were kids, right? And Gen Z is really, it's just so, it's because the world is just not what they told us it was. But now we have some level of autonomy. Yes, you do. Actually, it's not some level. Fuck that. You have autonomy, bitch. You can do what the fuck you want. I had to accept that, and that's what I'm doing. You need to do it too. And that's how you change the world. It's not about, oh, we have to do everybody. It's like the way that social media and the world is like the way that they have the thing that they have imprinted into our minds is that you saving the world and you making a change has to look one way or another. Look at this person. That's how they did it. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's the only acceptable way to do it. You, at the end of the day, this is what I mean about the 3 a.m. like, oh, I finally know. You know what you have to do in your own life to become your best self. Not perfect, your best self. To be living your life to the fullest. You know what that looks like. Do that. That's how you change the world. That's Look, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. But that is the thing that is bringing me some sort of modicum of peace. There are things I just know I should be doing and shouldn't be doing. It looks different for everybody. It's not one shoe fits all. We're looking for the answer outside of us all the time. The answer is within. You know what you have to do. Just do it. It's easier said than done. But the more you listen to that voice and what it's telling you to do, the easier it gets. And Rome wasn't built in a day, you know? Just start simple. Simple, whether it's taking a shower, going for a walk, going to the gym, eating whole healthy foods, like just doing things that take care of your soul, yourself, like whatever it looks like for you. Again, only you know. I know what it looks like for me, and I'm learning it more and more. Now that I grow and have the ability to do it for myself, I'm doing it. You do it. Get off the phone after this. Do something with whatever it is you're feeling right now, whatever it is. Do something with it, and then keep it going. Small, big ways again. Healing and growth does not have to be linear. You don't have to show up 1000% as your best self every single day. Even your best self has bad days. Remember that. Okay? So, okay, my phone's gonna die. This was a good talk. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna post it, because we're doing what we need to do, and 2026 is coming. Now we need to get this energy right, because it is time, and if we do it individually, we can do it collectively. I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of whatever it is, the time that we have. Enjoy the day. Check me out, on Substack, TikTok, talk in the comments if you have anything you need to say. That's all I got for now. Love to everybody that has made it this far, especially but anyone that came across this. I really hope that life gets better for you. Whatever it is, even if it's pretty good right now, I hope it gets better. And if it's really shitty, I really know it will. Okay? What goes up must come down. So let me stop talking and let me go. Okay. Peace, y'all.